Here's why I think the new Slate EV has a seriously good chance of being successful. First of all, it's actually real. These are going into production and you can pre-order them now. It's also very affordable with a base price of just $24,950 plus destination. It's also incredibly customizable. You can have it as a pickup truck, as an SUV, or you could even have it as this fastback SUV. So today we are in LA at Slate's new design studio for an event where they're revealing the final production Slate EV, both truck and SUV. This is going to be the most customizable truck probably ever made. They literally have designed it to be customized. So we're gonna check it out, see what it's like, the interior, the exterior. They've got a bunch of different stations here set up showing the different things you can do to your Slate, but it's actually happening. It's actually coming to market. Let's go see what it's like. All right, for the most important thing, we're getting a ride in the new Slate EV truck. Oh, thank you very much. And with the seat all the way back, I actually am very comfortable, plenty of legroom. So despite being 2 feet shorter than a Ford Maverick, we're good here. All right, that's actually pretty quick, smooth acceleration. That's the beauty of EVs, right? You get that immediate response, the torque down low. We're traveling at normal city speeds, 42 miles an hour, and actually wind noise is not bad. The thing with EVs is because you don't have an engine, you don't have as many other powertrain noises, sometimes wind noise, tire noise can be more present. And the fact that this thing is not on some sort of like all-terrain tire like certain other more adventure-focused EVs, and despite not being the most aerodynamically shaped, right? You look at a little Tesla Model 3 and really sleek for aero, this is still a pickup truck. I'm actually feeling like wind noise and isolation isn't terrible. So there we go, a quick ride in a still engineering prototype, but these are hitting production. By the end of the year will be start of production. They'll be reaching customer hands. So this one is on the 17-inch steel wheels, and you see very normal road tires. So road noise was not bad. It rode pretty comfortably for, again, being a truck here. Let's check out the interior. First impressions, it actually feels pretty spacious. Everything on the inside is customizable. You'll notice we do not have an infotainment screen. You've got this mount for your phone, and then some climate dials here, and then there's a little tiny screen right there. So the little screen right here would be your speedometer, things like that. Now, there's no sound system standard. You can get a Bluetooth speaker thing, but there is a legal requirement for new cars to have a seatbelt chime to warn you if your seatbelt isn't buckled. So that's integrated somewhere here. So you have that, but if you want to listen to music, you gotta get a Bluetooth speaker set up, right? We've got heat and AC, so those are the bare minimums. Crank windows, manual crank windows, which is, I don't think I've rolled a window up or down in so many years. I was actually thinking, at some point there will be a whole generation. We probably may have already reached that point where they don't know why we say like roll the window up or down, because now it's just press a switch. It's like, what are you rolling? But it's because of this. This is the old style to roll a window up or down. We do have traction control. It does have cruise control too, so there are some nice features here. We've got auto high beams, and then, oh look, we've got the key fob. Oh, that's very light. It says Slate. We've got lock, unlock, double click to open the frunk, and then remote start, double tap there, I assume. Little key fob. I wonder if the key fob itself is also customizable. We've got cloth seats here, but you can get different covers. It's got a two-tone, lighter gray, darker gray, and with the seat slid all the way back, you can put a little bit of stuff back here, but you actually have pretty decent legroom and then tons of storage here in the middle. Storage cubbies, we got cup holders. These panels right here hide some storage, so you can open that up. And this one, oh, that's actually really cool. That is a ton of storage down in there. And then you can, of course, customize that kind of stuff. We have a little phone mount right here. This right here is the Blank Slate, and this is how they will all come from the factory, this finish, but then you can customize it with your wrap color. It's very, very utilitarian in terms of the design, right? They made it simple to build, assemble, keep the costs down. From a design standpoint, this is like the bare minimum pickup truck look. If you ask like a 5-year-old to draw a pickup truck, this is probably the shape that you would get. You've got the cab, the bed, the front, very simple, but then you can customize it, even from a body style standpoint. All these various pieces can be taken off and swapped in. There is a frunk trunk, which is lockable, so the frunk is sealed. You don't need to worry about leaving stuff in the bed, right? That's one of the big things with pickup trucks. You can't leave anything valuable back here. This is also a full 5-foot bed with the tailgate up. That actually beats the Ford Maverick, which is 4.5 feet. So practicality, absolutely. But then it's really cool that you can put seats back here and then turn it into an SUV. So we'll check that out in a moment. It is a Tesla-style NACS charging port back here, so access to Tesla supercharger stations. We've got 17-inch steel wheels here, and there will be available lowering and lift kits. So you can either slam your truck/SUV, or you can lift it a bit. So no pricing on those yet, but again, pretty much everything about this truck is going to be customizable. Got the Slate lettering back here, you've got backup camera, so it has enough of the tech creature comforts, nothing it doesn't need, but pretty much all the important things, well, except for power windows. You have to manually roll your windows down. This wall right here shows some of the customizable wrap color options. So it comes in that gray finish. All of them are like that, and you can leave it like that if you want, but if you want something a bit more colorful, right, you can go for a vinyl wrap, and they start at just $500 to wrap your entire vehicle. They give you a template, which is kind of crazy because if you go to any sort of wrap shop for most modern cars, you're gonna get quoted thousands of dollars of material plus labor, but they did things like making it easier to wrap in terms of designing the body panels, and they're all the same, so they can probably do economies of scale in terms of cutting and everything like that. But we've got some, looks like matte finishes here, we've got glossy ones available, and it's like across the entire color spectrum. This is like paint to sample on a Porsche, but it's wrapped to sample at a price a mere fraction of any other OEM's color options. If you want to paint something, right? Like look at a normal paint option. Some of the premium ones can be $1,000 plus, a couple $1,000s. And the other beauty is, if you get bored of it, let's just say you paint it teal, or sorry, if you wrap it teal and get bored and you want to make it purple, you just unwrap it and rewrap it. So this is pretty cool, and they've got different options available in terms of finishes. So if you want black, there's like glossy black, satin black, matte black, another black. And they said something about how they could also do like a custom color. So that literally would be like Porsche paint to sample, but wrap to sample. So theoretically, if you tell them, I actually want to match this very, very specific shade of blue, they could do it for you. This front trunk is actually very nicely sized. It's got a drain hole too, so if you put ice in here to put beverages or food or whatever when you're tailgating or camping, you can drain it, which has become a popular thing with these EV front trunks. But actually very nicely sized, and obviously it can be locked, closed, sealed away if you want to put valuables in here in the front trunk. They've got a bunch of stuff we can test. Actually, let me go ahead and put a suitcase in here so you can kind of see. This is standard carry-on suitcase. There we go, suitcase for scale. I did some careful Tetrising. Probably fit, let's see. We've just got two right here. I'm not doing a very good job of Tetris right now. All right, you get the gist of it. You can fit at least two with maybe like a duffel bag or a small backpack or something like that. One of sideways would be more efficient. But anyways, for this very small little compact truck, that is very nice. And you know what a Ford Maverick would not have is a front trunk. So that is a benefit of being an EV platform. To get into the back seats, you slide the passenger seat all the way forward and then angle it forward there, and then it goes all the way up here. So pretty much all the way into the dash, which gives you a decent sized opening here to crawl back into the second row seats. Let's see how much space we have. Now I'm 6'3". I've got pretty long legs. Okay, that's not all the way back, but anyways, let me move over here. That's actually very, very usable. Wow, this open air is pretty cool. We got endless headroom. Imagine all the wind rushing through your hair, driving top down, or I guess no top, there's no down at all. But anyways, that's how you get in and out. Wait, how do I get out? There we go, all right. So there's like this extra mechanism, so it slides forward a bit, but then once you angle it forward, it goes all the way forward and out of the way, and you exit out of the passenger side. It's actually not terrible getting in and out, but you have to be kind of limber to climb back here into the second row when you have the SUV configuration.
So one of the things we're most excited about in the display we're at right now is kind of a miniature display of how customizable our interiors will be. So because we stripped away option packages and brought that choice back to what the people want, we had a good opportunity to bring color back to vehicles as well. No more grays, browns, whites, black. We wanted to bring color. So what this display kind of shows is we have on our dashboard here, these are actually bins that will open and close on the vehicle. You can see it on the full scale. We wanted to be able to change the color. So you can very easily take them off and swap a new one on. So we've got just 3 colors here of the 8. So we'll launch with 8 8 colors plus 3 fabric options. So lots of accessorizability, lots of options for the customers, and just really simple. So for about $60, you can swap the whole color of your dash. The cloth ones are super nice. We wanted a more premium touch and feel for these to give you something more elegant and to match the seats.
Yeah.
So the seat covers are all zip off as well. So what we did with the seats is the Blank Slate seat actually has a zipper, and the seat covers just zip on and zip off. So you can swap the seat covers like you would change your clothes. So we really wanted to offer the customizability kind of all the way around. And we wanted the seat covers to fit. So we didn't, I know some of the aftermarket seat covers kind of fit like potato sacks a little bit. So having the zip on and zip off really offers that. So moving down the line, I think in the middle here, we've got our 20-inch alloy wheels. We've got the 17-inch alloy wheels there.
These are like the all-terrain tires.
Yep, so we've got all-terrain tires. So that's a 31.5-inch tire, which fits on the vehicle with our factory lift kit.
Okay.
So when I say factory, I mean DIY in your driveway at a repair pal.
But you get it from the factory.
But you get it from the factory.
Yes.
Won't be installed in the plant. So 31.5-inch tires with the lift kit, which is a super good story. We've got the 20-inch wheels with, I would pair with our, we're doing an ultra high performance tire for these. So with the lowering kit, with the 20s, a little aero cover action on there, it actually handles pretty good. Kind of feels like a go-kart. Talking about more accessorizability on the outside of the vehicle. So you're looking at the decals for the Blank Slate wheels, for the steel wheels. So we've got everything from basic colors to something more rad. So we've done a couple of these on some of the marketing vehicles that we've done. We've gotten some pretty good response on it. And they're just going to be decals that go on the wheels for super affordable. So we expect people to be able to swap these out kind of as seasons change. Moving up a little bit, we've got some of the normal stuff, fender flares, running boards, crossbars, tower racks, those types of things, which we have worked to drive affordability into these. And then these items here, with the little red in the back and the ones to the left with the yellow, these are our lamp plates. So these were really fun to design because it was a good blend of studio design and styling, but also engineering to make sure that we meet all of the FMVSS regulations, that they're still legitimate brake lights.
Okay.
So we have 6 designs for the front and 6 designs for the rear at launch, but we have a portfolio kind of ready to roll out on a rolling basis. And we expect people to swap these out, pretty often. So $50 buys you a set for the tail lamps, $50 buys you a set for the front. I mean,
and they just screw on and off.
Yeah, so 4 screws, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom,
Yeah.
and you can swap them out. It's like changing a license plate frame.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It gives me tic-tac-toe vibes.
Yeah.
So this is what holds the Bluetooth speaker?
Yes.
And everything?
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is our bring your own speaker mount. So you just take this off, you put your speaker in there. It fits a whole variety of sizes. So there are some common speakers in that size, kind of in this sort of range, and it'll fit all of those. If you decide you don't want to bring your own speaker mount, what you can do is you can get our center speaker. So it's Bluetooth to your phone. And the center speaker right here is $250. 4 screws, simple connector. Easy as that.
All right.
If you want to add the left and right speakers, it's an extra $150. So for $400, you can get a full center stack of speakers.
All right, so now we've seen the Slate, checked out the accessories, the wrap options, we've gone for a ride to experience it. Let's wrap up some final thoughts on the Slate EV truck/SUV. Here are some challenges that I see they're gonna face. The pricing is still really good. They promised the mid $20,000 range. They're gonna bring it at just under $25,000. It's not quite as amazing as when they had the government EV tax credit of $7,500. At that point, the pricing was insane. It was like a no-brainer. That value proposition was ridiculous, but that tax credit is now gone. So when you're at $25,000 starting, once you add destination, delivery, you're at like 26 something, and then depending on your accessories, if you want to add on the second row seats with the SUV body, I think that's like $5,000-ish. So you can get it close to $30,000, $35,000 depending on how you're kitting it out. This one behind me, I think is $35,000 like loaded up with all the cool accessories and upgrades and things like that. But that also brings one of the perks is like the customizability is their big play, right? Your imagination is the limit. You can do so many different things to change it up, and they are keeping accessories like the wrap and all the other color panels and things like that very, very affordable to really build it to suit yourself. Your imagination is the limit. But that pricing is good. It's not as amazing anymore. It's not like, oh my gosh, this thing is so affordable. But at the same time, average new car is $50,000. Used cars are very expensive. So they are still bringing a value proposition. The range is another thing that I think is a slight challenge. Now, it's vastly improved from the original estimate of 150 miles. At 205, that's definitely much stronger. Now, the one caveat I see is, well, one thing is these are estimates. They haven't been EPA tested yet, but they're targeting that 205 miles of range, which is a big improvement. But with an EV, you're not going to use 100% of the range. You're not running it down to 0%. Like maybe you run your phone down to 0%, but who actually does that? I feel like I always charge my phone up. But anyways, you're not going to go down to 0, so call it 10%. And you're also not supposed to charge EVs to 100% all the time. Not only is it slower charging curve-wise, it's not the greatest thing for the battery. So if you consider a 10 to 80% window, 70% of the range, that works out to like 140-ish miles. And then if it's cold, if it's snowy, Michigan winters, right, are freezing, you will lose some range. So your actual usable range is gonna go down a bit. Now, they've improved it with the LFP battery chemistry. The charging is pretty quick. You've got Tesla supercharger access. I think it's 120 kilowatt charging speed, slower level 2. You're gonna easily top it up at home overnight. And honestly, who actually is driving like 250 miles in a day and not having time to stop and charge? I mean, there are people who drive that much in a day. I'm not discounting that whatsoever, but maybe this is not for you. But most people out there, you drive your commute, come back home, you run some errands, maybe you go on a trip here and there. Like, it's more than enough, but it is a reality of the range number, but they have improved it. That larger battery pack, I think it's gone. They kind of settled in the middle here at that 63 kilowatt hour usable capacity. The last thing is the acceleration, the performance, right? Now, on paper, 0 to 60 in 8 seconds might sound catastrophically slow. I mean, that's not fast, but it's not meant to be. This is not supposed to be some sort of rocket ship, right? Now, in reality, during that ride, the 0 to 30 to 0 to 45 acceleration felt very zippy, very brisk, and that's the most use case, right? You're going around town, you're getting up to the speed limit. Now, emerging on the highway, maybe it'll take a little bit longer. I'm guessing like the low-end torque, it's just direct drive, right? So 0 to 45. It's pretty quick, but it's gonna really start slowing down as you get higher and higher speeds. Top speed is 90 miles an hour, right? I think that's a number. So it's not meant to be anything ridiculous from that regard, but I think in real world performance, it was fine. Like, it didn't feel like you were lagging behind so slow that it was like underpowered in any way. It's because of that torque from the EV standpoint. Now, I really do hope they do well, because it's a really cool, interesting concept. The customizability is the big play, right? So many different accessories. They brought the price down on those accessories. They're not using that to be a revenue generator, really. A wrap starting at $500. Those panels, $60. Like, they're very affordable. The number of accessories under $100, under $250 is really, really impressive. Once you do optional, I think this one behind me here is like $35,000, like loaded up with all the different things there. That does get a little bit more expensive. And the thing is, Slate doesn't really have any direct competitors at the moment. Bring up Maverick, because that's like the most affordable little compact pickup truck. And those, yeah, are in the upper 20s, but that's gas or hybrid only, right? It's got a gas engine. This is an EV, so it's kind of like an apples and orange comparison. What we will see is Ford is apparently working on a very compact, affordable, sub $30,000 EV pickup truck, but that's gonna be a year away at least. So Slate will have a head start. They're starting pre-orders. Deliveries are supposed to happen by end of this year in actual numbers. It's not like, oh, we gave our employees 5 of the first production units, we started delivering. They're apparently actually wanting to get these into customer hands, but this has been really, really cool getting to check it out. A lot of passion from the team. They're really excited about launching this vehicle. It's a really, really cool concept. I do feel bad that like the government tax credit went away, so that presented a big challenge, but they stuck to a fairly competitive pricing, lots of different options to upfit it to pretty much your imagination is the limit. Quick ride along to check it out, and it was almost like refreshing getting a car that was so simple and bare bones. There's so many cars, new cars we drive right now that are just completely covered in touchscreens and buttons and controls and this, and you customize that, and you can change so many different things. But it was like overwhelming sometimes, right? Not everybody needs every single safety bing bong in the world, right? Oh, lane keeping this and safety warning this and that. It has the necessities, the core things. It has some nice features. We have cruise control, stability control, traction control, auto high beams. Like, it's got things, and then you got roll down windows, which is kind of fun. So it's got character. It's got character. Really excited to see what the aftermarket and Slate's accessory team does. And as these roll out, and I really want to drive one and like spend some time living with it just to see what it's like in the real world. But hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me to see what Slate has on display here for their production Slate EV truck and SUVs coming very, very soon. Thanks for watching.